And then I got pushed or something. I was like, screw it. Last game of the year, I'm throwing some haymakers. Rob
Gronkowski is here. We'll be right back.
The best tight end the league has ever seen has decided to hang up the cleats. Rob Gronkowski has announced his retirement.
J-E-T-S, Jets!
Joy Taylor for Class X Sports here with Rob Gronkowski. Rob, you're relaxing in the golf cart right now.
Yes, just elevating my foot.
As a reminder, I will be going live tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so call in with your questions or just come and hang out. I love talking to you guys. So Rob Gronkowski has announced his retirement. This is bittersweet for me because as a Jets fan, I am so happy to get this dude out of the division and just off the field, away from the Jets. But as an NFL fan, this kind of sucks. I really like watching Rob Gronkowski. You know, it pains me to say this, but he is absolutely one of my favorite football players of all time, and it kills me to say it because he was a Patriot his entire career. And, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I think he is hands down the most gifted tight end that we have ever seen play the game. For me, Gronk and I are the same age, so as he was going through his career and I was going through my, 20s and everything, I think every time I was, in a mindset, it's like, man, what would I do if I was an NFL player? And you think, okay, you have all the money, you have all the girls, you have all these different things. And you watch Rob Gronkowski, and it's just like, man, that dude just has it all. He's got the good looks. He's, funny. He's just drinking. He's partying like an animal and just winning Super Bowls. Like, this guy is just the perfect specimen for anyone who was in their 20s watching and wanted to be an athletic star. Now, I think Gronk is hands down the most dominant tight end that we have ever seen play the game. And it's kind of the argument with Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, right? Like, you have this unbelievable sustained success from Jerry Rice, just like Tony Gonzalez. You have those two guys. But if you had one season, one game, one drive, one play, and you needed to take one talent to try and win that attempt, you're taking Randy Moss and you're taking Rob Gronkowski. These guys have the physical freak gene. They're absolutely the most monstrous guys in their prime. And to put it in perspective, here's what Gronk's stats are now that his career is officially over. 115 games, 7,861 yards, and 79 touchdowns. By comparison, Tony Gonzalez had 270 games, 15,127 yards, and 111 touchdowns. So if you were to actually extrapolate Gronk's career into the same amount of games that Tony Gonzalez played, and I know you can't really do that because Gronk was a little more in his prime than Tony was later in his career, but let's just say you were to extrapolate these numbers out, Gronk would have 18,456 yards and 185 touchdowns. This guy was a freak. He was absolutely dominant. You couldn't take him down. He was a nightmare if you were a safety, a corner, a linebacker to try and cover. And we know it as Jet fans. We tried to get safeties. We tried to get linebackers to cover this dude, and it was impossible. He's 6'6", 270 pounds. He is a freight train when he has the ball in his hands, and he's fast. You cannot stop that kind of momentum with just an average tackle. You need two guys to try and bring this dude down. And for all sports fans, Gronk wasn't just a sports star. He was an icon. He was, the personality. I don't think we've really seen that type of personality, before in the NFL to that kind of extent. The only player that I can think of in all of sports that kind of had that same demeanor, I guess, was Shaq. I mean, he just physically dominating, on top of the world and just crack jokes all the time. He was just a funny guy to be around. I could watch Gronk pretty much do anything and I would have a good time. And I could watch Shaq do anything. I would look up Shaq's funniest moments on YouTube every now and then just to get a good laugh. And it's the same thing with Rob. If you could take Barstool Sports and morph that idea that is Barstool Sports into a football player, it would literally be Rob Gronkowski.
I got 69 touchdowns. You know what I mean.
He's just a lunatic. He's spiking, footballs all over the place. He's body slamming dudes with a broken arm. He is the epitome of, a man's man. Now, I'm glad Gronk was able to walk away on his terms. He's going to walk into the Hall of Fame in 5 years. And as a Jets fan, I can honestly say I'm jealous of all the Patriot fans, not just for all the rings and everything, but because they got to have Rob Gronkowski on their team, and you got to root for him. I had to root against him. And as a Jet fan, I'm jealous. I would love to have had that kind of talent on our team. I hope at some point in our, in my fanhood of the Jets, that I get to see a player of that kind of caliber wear the green and white. So Rob Gronkowski, while I hated you during your career against the Jets, I am so grateful for being able to watch you play. And, I respect everything you were able to do on and off the field. It's, you're a character among all characters. So, Jet fans, let me know what you think down below. Do you hate Rob Gronkowski? Do you love Rob Gronkowski? Do you just like him? Do you not really care? Whatever. Let me know what you think down below. As always, go Jets.
I haven't read a book since 9th grade when they made me, like, you don't raise your hand, but they call on you. A mocking to remember or whatever. Mockingbird to remember.
Right.
Yeah.